Everyone thinks because you're a zombie, you don't know good coffee. Well, they're wrong. There's only one brew that gets my seal of approval. Deadly Grounds coffee is my guilty pleasure. The aroma is so intoxicating. It brings all of my neighbors out of the woodwork. Deadly Grounds coffee. Coffee to die for and zombie approved. It's good to get a little deadly. Use the front door! Oh, they're so disgusting.
Hey everybody, it's Tuesday night, which means it's another live Wicked Horror Show. I'm Kevin, and as always, I'm joined by Tony Has Nine Fingers.
What is going on, people?
And Tony, would you like to introduce our very special guests? You tell me where to start.
I honestly don't know where you're going to start, but I guess just go through and I'll
okay.
Go through.
Very first guest. Oops. Sorry,
everyone
up. Everyone's here. So yeah, I just want to go through. I'm a master at buttons, apparently.
Well, I guess since you're doing the buttons, it'll probably be easier for you to do it then.
All right, go ahead.
Go ahead.
All right. Well, we're welcoming back Wes Robinson. You were just on probably like a couple months ago, or no, like a month ago maybe, for another project. We also have Celeste Blandon. Welcome back. How you doing?
Thanks for having me. Hi.
Yeah. And we have Chaney Morrow. I don't know. Have we had you on before?
No, sir. It's this is my first time.
Well,
good luck.
Pleasure. Yeah, good luck. And we also want to welcome back. We want to welcome back Elsie Holt. How you doing, Elsie?
Good to see you guys.
Yeah, you too. And Daniel John Kearney. We know you from going way back to the cons and everything back before there was a pandemic. So we're on to talk about a new movie that is in pre-production right now called WATCHDOG that's being directed, and it was written by LC. So how much can you go into without giving too much away? And this isn't your first time directing, correct?
No, technically it's my third time directing. But the last film I directed, Time's Up, is about to come out hopefully in the holiday season of this year, which I think we might have talked about on your show last time.
Yeah. We definitely had you on for Time's Up.
Yeah, as starring myself and Damien Maffei, Hannah Fearman, Jonathan Tierston, Dave Sheridan, Felissa Rose, great cast, and we're just wrapping that up now. In terms of WATCHDOG, that's the next big project for us, and I'm really looking forward to it. It's a film that I've been working on for a while, and I wanted to do something after Time's Up that was firmly in the horror genre, but had a new sort of twist. I love subgenres.
Nice.
And so this is solidly horror, but it's very different than Time's Up. It's what Fangoria called a reverse home invasion movie, which I thought was a pretty interesting way of putting it. And I'm really excited. I mean, in terms of the story, WATCHDOG, we could talk about, that it is about a guy named Travis Wilkes, who is an accountant in Alabama, played by Chaney Morrow, who survives a mugging one night thanks to a drifter, played by Wes Robinson. And then that drifter he invites back to the house, and where he lives with his girlfriend. And then, all hell breaks loose. Blood, brain matter, all the nasty, gory horror film kind of stuff starts to happen. So it's very much inspired by, in my opinion, growing up, I watched a lot of films in the early 90s that had this sort of theme of normalcy, quote unquote, being invaded by some sort of dark outer force. I mean, you think about movies like Lawful Entry, Bad Influence, Pacific Heights. They're all about people who are living very stable lives, and then something evil and dark comes inside and completely destroys it. So I think WATCHDOG has some of that DNA in it, and a lot of stuff that's just straight out of growing up watching things like Unsolved Mysteries and Cold Case Files, big true crime. I'm a big true crime guy.
Nice.
So, everything in Watchdog, it was like it had to feel like it could show up on one of those shows. That was sort of my parameters. Is it has to be real, but really, really dark and violent and gory. And of course, Watchdog is far more violent and gory than any of the 3 movies that I'd mentioned previously. But
nice. You got to be nowadays. It's unfortunate, but I mean, sometimes you'll have a few out there that really just kind of imply it and really pull it off. But if you can do it, we want to see it. So even better. Just real quick, we have a couple people in the room. J-Man saying hello, everyone. Sergio's in the room saying hi to everybody. We have, let me see, Ashton. We have Alfredo, and we have Jeff. So yeah.
Love Jeff.
What up, Jeff?
What's up, buddy?
So you wrote this one. Did you write it with some of these awesome people in mind, or was it something where you're like after you wrote it, you're like, all right, I think that they would be okay in this role, maybe this one or whatever. But did you have these guys in mind to begin with? I wrote it
about 10 pages into the script. I knew Chaney was going to play the character he was going to play.
Nice.
Because I've worked with Chaney before on several times as an actor and once as a director, because he's in Time's Up as well. So I'm very familiar with Chaney. We're buddies, and I think he's a fantastic actor who has a lot of range and that he hasn't shown yet. And so I wanted to do something that would give him that chance to show something, that he hasn't maybe fired on a couple of the cylinders he hasn't fired on yet. And then beyond that, I had the script finished, and then I did this movie that you guys talked about called Phantom Fun World, in which I played a really, fun character. I've had great experiences on a lot of the movies I've done of late. That was right up there near the top. Great group. Tori Jones, writer, director, the Jonestown Posse. I love those guys. And that's when I met Wes and Celeste, because they were both also on that movie. And it just sort of came into my mind, like, I think I found Drew and Anna for Watchdog. And then, working with people, the way I like to, I've auditioned people in the past. I have no problem doing auditions. I like to talk to people and get to know them and see how we connect. And then I might do, what they call a chemistry read, where I get a few people together and then we read it. And that's sort of like the quote audition,
Yeah.
So that's just kind of how I like to work as a director. So I knew those guys were in it. And then Daniel John Kearney is my producing partner. He's my buddy. And we worked on Time's Up together, and we worked on other stuff together, even as actors. We were on Late Checkout together as actors. And Dan read the script, and he really liked one character in particular. And I thought, well, yeah, I think that's Dan. So that's how
Daniel's like, he's like, I don't know.
It is. It's perfect. It's perfect. Yeah. It makes sense. The second, like you said, Dan is. I'm like, yep, perfect. Perfect.
I love the script.
But it's one of those things where I don't know that I've done it before. I've written for people before. I tend not to like to do that, because if you do that too much, you get in your mind what you've seen them do in the past, and you go, oh, well, I'm going to write for their type. And I think a good actor can do a multitude of different things. And oftentimes a good actor isn't given the opportunity to, because they have a type. I've been there, done that,
Yeah.
And it's like, so I don't write for people.
Is it like a subconscious thing though? Like you don't, but you do kind of deal. You're like, I didn't mean to write it, but it kind of like just happened. Absolutely. Where it's like, okay, yeah, I didn't mean to, but it definitely did. Or
for this movie, with Chaney, I wrote it without him in mind for the first 10 pages. And then the character said a certain line. And when I wrote that line without thinking about it, I was like, Chaney's playing that role. So maybe maybe it was a subconscious thing a little bit.
Nice. Well, that's pretty awesome. I mean, I'm sure it's probably awesome for Chaney to hear something like that as well, as far as
Oh, it is.
Yeah, that's awesome.
It is.
So, Like
I'm downplaying the joy I'm feeling this second.
Yeah. So I know you guys are in pre-production. So what are the plans? Like, do you guys already have? Are you starting like any kind of like? Do you guys do like any kind of rehearsal routine or anything like that? Like, do you guys have something in place where you guys are doing like reads or anything? I don't know how it works. I'm not in any movies.
Yeah, I always do reads live, like, on Zoom or something like that. Get everybody together and we'll read the script. And it helps me too, because the script is, when you write the first draft, the first thing you need to know about writing is you're going to rewrite it. So you know the first draft and then you feel good with it. And then you just start to pare it down, pare it back, finesse it. And the way you do that is by hearing people say it. Things are one way in your mind, but when you hear people say it, it helps you to sort of work on it more, see what's too long, what's too short, that sort of thing.
Nice. So is that process started already or no?
Oh yeah, we're way into that process.
Uh-huh.
The script is pretty much in a final draft form right now. So a lot of the pre-production is already done. The storyboards are made, the schedule is made. We're launching an Indiegogo on July the 8th.
Nice.
And once that's done, we're ready to go into production in September. So
that's awesome. What was that?
So
I just said it's extremely exciting. It's been a well-oiled machine. I mean, everybody's been like, you guys always make the joke, the Brat Pack, but like we've been working together for like Tony always says, So I love that. But we've been all working together for so long. It's kind of like a well-oiled machine. So it's kind of, we just all work together and get a good, plan in place and kind of follow through with it. And it's looking really incredible.
Yeah. And I just want to make sure that, mentioning the new, like Brat Pack or Rat Pack, it's not like meant in a positive way. We're excited.
Oh, we know that. Like
every,
we
like
always
every
joke
movie
around
you guys
about
are
it. We were
doing.
joking around about it when we check out.
I prefer the term screen team.
Oh, there you go.
I prefer that term because it keeps us totally separate from the Brat Pack, the Frat Pack, and the Rat Pack, which wouldn't be too bad. But I like the Scream Team. It's this wide bevy of people.
But it's all, when you guys, there's all these movies that you guys are like part of that they all just look very exciting, and I'm like excited about all of them. So, I mean, it's cool. I mean, that's why we look at it that way, is because we're like, there they go again. They're putting out something else that I can't wait to see. So hopefully it's trickling out. Yeah.
And we mention it all the time. It's like, as movie watchers, you can tell when it's either the actors just mesh together because they mesh together, which is, we've had plenty of people on where they said, it took a while, but then we all got together. But if you know each other, it just shows off on the camera, where it's like they must have been working for like years together. But it's a good thing in my eyes that you can tell where they mesh together, and other ones where it's like, okay, we kind of just got brought together. Let's get this movie over and we'll go. So it's good when you see that camaraderie on camera,
It's great to work with friends. You get to that point where you're past the breaking the ice kind of thing. You know what each other is kind of capable of, and then you kind of push each other to do better work. And any person on the screen right now, including Kevin and Tony Fingers, I'd work with on anything. They're great group. I'm just very fortunate to have a very talented group of friends.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I think that it's interesting because this is like the first experience I've had where I've worked with people consistently that I liked and I knew. Celeste can vouch for that. We did Phantom together. We just did another thing together, and we're going to do WATCHDOG together. And it's very exciting to work with the people that you like and your friends, like you guys are saying. And I, for one, cannot wait to play, especially on screen with Chaney in particular, because that's going to be a very exciting time, and I'm excited to bring it with him.
Me too, man.
Yeah.
That's pretty awesome. I mean, like Wes, I just want to point out the lighting in that room is like, it's like perfect. It's like a music video. It's weird.
This room has no lighting, so I had to make
the silhouettes and stuff like that. I'm like, it's like right out of a music video.
Is it creepy?
No. It's like,
no, it's pretty awesome. Like, it's pretty good. Yeah.
Okay, good.
So Wes, I know like obviously we don't want to go too much into things, but can you talk about your character and maybe a little bit about what you're bringing to the role, or maybe something you've taken and switched up a bit from what you've read?
So I'm playing Drew, who I wasn't sure if Elsie wanted me to mention is the drifter in the movie. This character in particular, I've been excited about this movie since Elsie told me about it. And then I read it and I love the script so much. I was actually telling my girlfriend Ashton, who said hello a second ago today, I was like, I just love the script so much. He is, without giving away too much, a character that I have played, but I have not played at the same time. And it's like Elsie said, it's almost against type, but it's a challenge that I want to have and that I'm ready to have. And I'm excited to show people. What we can all do.
That's awesome. And yeah, talking about like going against type and stuff like that. That's one thing I enjoy seeing. Like Daniel, like we know a lot of people like through the con circuit and stuff like that. And like some of these guys, like they're just typecast all the time. And you know, when they get an opportunity to do something and knock it out of the park, it's awesome because you really get to see them, you know, feel better about things, you know. Like Kane Hodder, I like how many movies doesn't he not talk in? And then like he started getting more TV roles and stuff like that, and it's like I don't know, it's great. I love seeing it. So Celeste, do you want to talk about your character a little bit, maybe without giving too much away?
Sure. So Anna is obviously Travis's girlfriend, and the first time I read the script, I absolutely loved it. I went back and read it a second time, like right away. I did not sleep until very late that night, but I felt really connected to the character. I feel like we've been in similar situations in a past relationship that I had, so I find it very easy to understand what she's going through. And it's an interesting relationship dynamic to see play out on screen. So that's what I can give you.
Sounds cool. Sounds like you're excited about the role, and
very.
Yeah. And so like I don't know how much we want to get into it because it sounds like Chaney's character is a little deep. But how much can you get into it?
Shit. I'm Travis Wilkes, the fella that is almost, you know, is mugged and is saved, and through an act of kindness kind of invites a night of just terror. One fuck of a night basically is what he's responsible for. But what drew me most of the character was, one, I was just already a fan of LC's, like both as an actor and a writer. When he said, "Hey, I got this I want you to read," and he said, "Think about Travis," I'm like, I immediately, my eyes light up. I'm like, holy shit, yes! So I'm reading it. I read it all in one sitting, which, it's kind of hard for me to focus. I got a family and, there's kids running around. It's hard to me to read anything or watch anything in one sitting. But I blazed right through it. And I was immediately drawn to Travis because there are, I can say this much. There's, he loves one thing he knows for certain is that he loves his girlfriend, and the confusion that he has kind of as a character, these hiccups that he seems to face, they're it's all confusing, but what it all kind of boils down to, what he knows for certain is, everything is what it is, but I love you, and that's what I want to be, is that guy. So you find just kind of a normal guy, an everyman, if you will, in ordinary circumstances. Perhaps he's, kind of pushed around a little bit, but what can drive a person to survive more or to want to survive than just love, just knowing that you need to.
Mm-hmm.
if I say more, I'll like start to detail shit, and I can't. And Elsie knows. I know he's down there, like got his finger like on the thing, like, hey.
Shut up.
Draw it back, my man. But no, Travis is. She's just a normal cat thrust in an extraordinary circumstance, and the chips fall where they may. And but what really excites me after the fact that they did the casting was what Wes said earlier. I'm like, oh no shit, like it's Wes Robinson. Like, oh, this is gonna be fun. Like, well, we can make some real magic here, man. I'm just excited most about all the elements involved, and I think we got a hell of a story to show the world.
Nice.
Now, I got a question. Like, I don't know how, because I've never acted or anything. Does it help to? I'm guessing it helps to have worked with someone before, so you can like, I guess, push it a little bit more. Like you know each other a little bit, like easier, so you know where you could push it without going too crazy. I guess. Like if there is an intense scene, to be like, okay, I know how far I can go without overstepping my boundary, kind of deal. Like, how does it all work?
It's well, there are different types of actors. Some people prefer it differently. There's some actors that just don't want to rehearse at all, and then want to show up and do it there. Me personally, I come from a theater background. I love rehearsal because it helps you anticipate, gives you ideas, and it's a more controlled. It's more the craft of acting when you can really control when it's super spontaneous and not everyone's on board. It can feel a little uneven. So me personally, I really dig the rehearsals and you don't have to really get to know a person, but if you're both actors, I think everyone benefits from rehearsal. Myself, but that's just me.
I'm with you.
There's no right or wrong to it. Everybody's got their way.
Right. It's cool that you're from a theater background. Do you still do that, or is it something that you've?
I don't have a whole lot of time for it because around here there is a professional theater, but if I sign with them for a season, it locks me in for months at a time. And in the film world, you can get stuff can pop up on a week's notice. And with the movie Haunt, that happened. And I swear I could never let that happen again because that was a freaking nightmare, man. Trying to do a play and a movie at the same time and not being able to walk. Can't do it. Can't do it. So, I mean, I will, but it would have to be something so special that I could avoid film for that length of time,
Yeah. Yeah, it makes sense, I guess. I mean, that's another thing I don't know much about, but it's I do enjoy going to see plays and stuff like that. So there's a special kind of person who can do that. It's not me, but there's a special kind of person. I can go sit in the audience and be like, "Yay!" But like, I just can't do it myself. But Sergio's asking for a trailer. The movie's not made yet, Sergio, so there is no trailer. They're launching their Indiegogo on the 8th.
This is the trailer.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Yeah, this is the trailer. We're giving you everything you need.
Yeah. So Daniel, you want to talk about your character? Other than having a really cool name, like, I'm assuming that was named after like an old Wurlitzer organ.
I don't know how that was named, but I even said to myself, that was a pretty cool name.
It's a great name.
But yeah,
you are correct, by the way, Kevin.
Oh yeah, the Wurlitzer organ. So it's an old organ, yeah. There's a music store I used to buy all my gear at, like growing up, and it was called Wurlitzer. So that's how I knew what it was, is because of that store. But yeah, it's a special place in my heart. I spent all my money there growing up. But yeah, so tell us about your character now that I've told you about my childhood.
So no, that's awesome. But
that's awesome, dude.
Yeah, no, I can't say too much, but when Elsie gave me the script, and we were talking about working together, and I absolutely loved it. And this role stuck out because I can't say too much, but it's really integral to some cool things, not cool, but really things that take place that are going to set things in motion, that are going to make things really cool. So when I saw it and I read it, I was like, man, I can do this, and I'm gonna make this work. And I was very excited about it. So my character, I am a responding officer, extended beyond just a responding officer, but I guess that's all I can say. But it's very cool. And I just want to piggyback off what everybody was saying before. When you were saying about working together and people you worked before. LC, Chaney, and I, we just did a film together a month or two ago, and when we were together, we were already talking about WATCHDOG and everything, and heavy into pre-production. And once we got there and we were all working together, I was like, this is going to be like just awesome. Like just everything was just gelling. Everything was just like smooth butter, man. It was just going to go freaking amazing. And then once I knew everybody else was on board, I'm very excited to work with Wes and Celeste. So it's going to be really cool. That's all I got to say, man.
Likewise, man.
That's my 2 cents for the night.
Nice. It's another one.
Don't forget about me and Dan. We just did Mothman, dude.
That's right. Yeah.
Checkout,
I was looking at late checkout, but yeah, we took Mothman. That was awesome too. That was a really good time.
Nice.
But
yeah,
it's
more to add to the list of things that I can't wait to come out. But it's whatever. I'm fine with it. I'll wait. It's worth it.
But
so
everybody's this is I can't speak enough to the script and to the old school tension that's in it.
Nice.
The old school tension that's in it. It's like one of those things where like you'll be sitting alone, or like you're, you don't want to say too much, but you're sitting alone, or you're sitting with a partner or a loved one, and you're just like, like you're just like, really, even
it's
reading.
Been a while. It's been a while since I've had that kind of tension.
You'll have it on this, I promise you that.
You're right. Yeah, you're right, man.
Is someone Tokyo drifting out there?
Very well
I
put.
was about to say, we got the Fast and Furious 10 going on outside.
Was that at your place, Tony?
Yeah, it was not.
Oh, that's okay.
It's probably mine. Probably mine. It's an odd neighborhood.
That's okay.
Do you ever feel like you're on the Brady Bunch with all these squares?
Yes. I always want to be Alice in the middle, but I can't.
Yeah.
With Sam the Butcher, just
indie Hollywood squares.
Yeah.
We had it one time where it was all 9 screens.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, that's cool.
Oh, really?
Because you can add 2 more.
It wasn't cool.
What I like about it is that if the layout's the same, LC's on the bottom for me, and it's like he has like an eject button, like for any of us at any time. If we say too much, we hit the button and we just fly out.
It's true. It's true.
The more people we like that we've had, definitely like way more people than this even, and it always just falls apart because it's like everyone's trying to it's tough to keep it all under control. We had people walking around the streets of London on their cell phone, and just like a room full of people, and then it was still fun.
But I must say it's one of those things where it makes it so spontaneous. Like, I think that's what adds to every interview. None of them are the same. Sometimes it's going a little crazy, but it adds to the fun. Yeah. I think. Yeah. So, but one thing I want to say is talking like subgenres, and like it seems like this is going to be on your on the edge of your seat the whole time kind of deal. We've mentioned it before, where I think some of the times the more realistic stuff, the stuff that can actually happen, is the more scary part of horror, because you get a lot of the the gore stuff and all this, and you can look at it and be like, that won't really happen. That won't really happen. But then you get movies like that, and even You're Next and stuff like that, or The Purge. It's like that possibly could happen. So that's a little bit more scary in real life, because it's like that's not out of the realm of possibility if something happens. So I can't wait to check this one out for sure.
It is something that's always, interested me. I think mainly it's because of how I grew up. I don't know that I've ever actually said this on an interview before, but my mother was an executive assistant for an appellate court judge, criminal court. And she was never into, I loved horror growing up. She was never into it. And one time I asked her, why? She said, because I have to look at this stuff 5 days a week. And after you do that for about 30 years, romantic comedies start to look a whole lot better, you know?
Yeah.
And I remember she wouldn't talk too much about, you know, that kind of stuff. My father was a parole officer. My uncle is a retired prison warden. So I had a lot of that correction, you know, sort of crime and criminal justice sort of thing in my background. But I do remember there was a time when my mother did let slip about one case when I was a kid. And I was sitting and I was listening to her, and she told me this story about, and all this stuff happened right around the corner from where I grew up. It was all, you know, because it was Alabama criminal courts. And she said there was an elderly couple, one Christmas Eve, who were putting together presents and wrapping them for their kids and their grandkids. And suddenly the lights went out. And the elderly gentleman went outside, and there were these two guys there dressed in total ninja gear with swords, and killed him, murdered him. Then went into the house where his elderly wife was and brutally murdered her. And they caught these guys and they asked them, you know, why did you do this? What did these people do to you? And they'd done nothing to them. They did it because they could. And I remember as a kid, this hit me so hard. And, you know, kind of growing up in that environment, I think put this sort of fear of what the outside world could be. And that sometimes there are horrible people out there who do things for no good reason other than they can.
Yeah.
And so that's kind of been hardwired kind of into me, I think, to some degree. And when I do things like WATCHDOG, or even some of the acting I've done and writing in general in this genre, I think there is a part of me that is exorcising those fears of the outside world and the horror that can exist out there. That was sort of ingrained in me from a very early age because of who my mother was and my father was. And
yeah, that's pretty insane. Like that's one of the reasons why I tell people all the time at the first Strangers movie, like just that one line, why are you doing this to us? Because you were home. Like that's the only reason that they were doing it. And it's just like that's like, oh my God. Like that's terrifying.
Because you even look at like some of these like serial killer documentaries, and some people have motive, but then others it's like, why'd you do it? Oh, I was bored or whatever. And it's just like it's so like void of any character or anything like that. It was just like, yeah, I was bored that day and I decided to, you know, gonna kill it. And it's just like how crazy that is. That and of course, like it's real life at that point in time. So like that kind of, I mean, I love my gore fest or my horror comedies, but this is definitely one of those, you know, when it's so realistic and it happens that it's just like, okay, now that puts a new perspective on it. So
yeah. So now that
this is the type of stuff that really takes you out.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm so sorry. There's an echo. I'm so sorry. Were you talking?
No, it's okay. No, I was just saying.
This is the type of stuff that really takes you out. Like, really works you out. Like it's you know, just like you said, it could happen to anybody. You know, and that's what really takes you out. You know, it's really does a lot to you.
So have you guys already figured out like locations, like, you know, like where you guys are going to be filming? Is it like, well, you guys are scattered all over the place, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
We're actually going to film not far from the town where I grew up in Alabama.
Oh, nice.
And there is a specific location that the film was written for. And because it is a home invasion film, a lot of it is centered around that one location. And it's really amazing. Like I said, these, you know, I think everyone here has seen that location and has seen it with the script. I think I just sent them the script, and this is where we're going to film it, sort of thing.
Nice. So it's appropriate for everything.
It's very secure. Oh yeah. It's going to look beautiful on camera. It's secluded. You know, it's really going to look beautiful.
Nice. Well, good to hear. So, do you guys have like anything in the works for the Indiegogo as far as perks and stuff like that, or is it a Kickstarter or Indiegogo? Am I just giving wrong information?
It's Indiegogo.
Okay.
Indiegogo. Great perks we've got put together. The page is there. You know, it's when people see what all we have, whether it's stuff, you know, you can, of course, be a producer, an executive producer, associate producer, all those kind of perks. We have some perks that are very, very unique to this campaign. Obviously, a lot of screen used stuff, which you're never going to get anywhere else. And some perks I don't think anyone has ever put out before that I'm aware of. And having to do with joining us on the sets and things like that. So I think it's going to be a lot of fun, this Indiegogo. I'm really excited about it. And I also want to mention two people who couldn't join us tonight. Speaking of the typecasting thing.
Yes.
Because there were two actors in this movie who were both playing very much, I think, against, you know, type. And in a way that's going to really blow people's minds. One of them is our old friend Felissa Rose, who, you know, I love her to death. She's a co-producer on the movie. She co-produced Time's Up. We've done a number of other things together. And the other is Mr. Mark Patton, who I'm sure all of you know from Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2 and Scream Queens and you know, the documentary. So I'm really, really excited for people to see what they're going to be doing as well, because their roles in this are integral to the plot, but are, I think, really going to kind of blow people's minds when they see what Mark and Felissa have going on.
Nice. Yeah, it's every once in a while I'll see something with Felissa in it where I'm just like, she's totally different than I've ever seen her, and it's just like, it's awesome. Like there was one movie she was like a Bible thumping, like kind of. It was just like, that's totally not Felissa at all. But it was great. It was just great to see her be like a crazy lady. It was great. But I'm looking forward to it. Yeah, she's phenomenal. She's one of my favorite people to see at cons for sure.
Yeah, she was just at the classic Rewind con that I was at.
Oh yeah.
In her for the sleepaway camp setup and stuff. So
nice.
So I'm gonna say this short real quick. Everybody knows the whole story. I'm gonna say real quick,
yes.
But everybody knows Melissa's one of my best friends. But anyways, the first two horror films I ever saw in my entire life was One Night with producer Steven Robinson, 27 years ago, and it was Sleepaway Camp and Nightmare on Elm Street Part 2.
Oh wow!
And here we are doing the film together, and that
so cool.
is how insane this, how incredible the past couple years have been. It's just incredible. So it's like such a 360. So I'm so excited to do this because I was a little kid, you know, and the first horror films I ever watched were my two like heroes, and here we are making it. So it's incredible. It's
I just want to say
incredible.
that you said that 20-something years ago you were a little kid just made me feel very old. I just want to point that out.
Oh,
whatever.
all
Anyways,
right, well,
Kevin, are you prepared for your role?
what?
I said, are you getting?
What happened? There's too many people talking.
It's either people talking, or I just watched what Chaney's doing, because Chaney is always entertaining.
Yeah. As soon as I was like pointing to Tony, I'm like, "Hey, that's weird."
There's like a fly or something, man, buzzing around my head. They're trying to find the bastard. And they're elusive. They're elusive.
Well, it works. It's entertaining to watch for sure. But I don't know, Wes, were you saying something?
I was just saying, are you ready for your role in Watchdog, Kevin?
Yeah, as a viewer, yeah. I'm ready. I'm hoping sometime early 2023, I'll be able to sit down and do my part. I don't know.
Even though out of the the few people that usually do this, Kevin is the most decorated in acting. So
yes, I've been cut out of a movie that was horrible, and I'm bad enough to be cut out of a horrible movie. And I got killed in a field for a.
You made it, man.
Yeah, for The Talking Dead, which is a weed-based comic
book.
Dude,
these are good things.
Yeah, it's a weed-based comic book that they're doing like live action like episodes of, and I got murdered in a field, so that was fun. But yeah, that's the most decorated. So that's a pretty good resume. So I'm assuming the calls will be rolling in anytime now.
Well, now with Daniel telling us, now he getting to work with two of his heroes. With everybody else, like, did you get to, with your acting, did you get to work with any of your, possibly heroes, or do you want to work? Like, who's your bucket list of people to work with?
Yeah, I mean, one of my first films I did when I was a teenager, I got to, shoot a scene with Al Pacino all night one night. I was just like, I was 17 years old, and I was like, I don't know how you get any better than that, And it was a Michael Mann movie, directed by Michael Mann, called The Insider. And I'm about, in my final film, I'm about that big. But, it doesn't matter because I got to spend all night with Al Pacino and Michael Mann. So,
yeah, that's pretty awesome.
Well, who's gonna top that, LC? Thanks a lot, man. Nobody's gonna top that.
All right, now you're next, Wes. Yeah. You've worked with some pretty impressive people.
Well, the person that comes to mind, I'm gonna get in trouble for saying. Just kidding. I had a huge crush on Jennifer Love Hewitt growing up, like huge crush, and I got to work with her, and she was amazing. That's just the first thing that comes to mind because I just remember being like, that's crazy. Like what can happen, and like where you can end up and who you can be sharing a scene with, like just randomly that you had no idea that you would ever do that, so, and then Al Pacino and then,
you probably weren't even a thought at that point. Yeah, no, that's pretty great. Was she cool to work with? Like, was it like a?
Oh yeah, she was great. Yeah, she was. I remember when I first started, it was for Ghost Whisperer. She took us all out to this like nearby restaurant and got us burgers like on our first day, and I sat in the booth with her and I think it was her boyfriend at the time, and then another actor, and I was just like eating my burger, and I'm like, this is insane. Like, what is that?
That's awesome.
What, that her boyfriend was there, or that you were just eating burgers with?
Her boyfriend was there. Her boyfriend was there, yeah.
Just give me the stink eye the whole time.
Get rid of this guy, jeez. Get rid of this guy.
So, Celeste, you were called out. You have one.
I'm like, what? I mean, obviously getting to work with all of these talented humans, it's still unreal to me that just like what's gone down in the past like year and a half of my life, I guess, as far as like all of the people I've been meeting and working with, it's pretty cool to see the people I look up to like actually working with them. And also, I have to say, Haunt was the first movie I was ever on as like a big set, and I was just an extra. So for me, it's very exciting to get to work with Chaney like to this extent, I guess.
No kidding, I had no idea.
Yeah, that was the first one.
No
That's
kidding.
so cool.
I had no idea. That's awesome.
What did you do as an extra?
Wow.
They placed me next to some of the leads, and they just like pushed past me in a Halloween like party scene. So.
Okay, so you were in the party scene bit.
Yeah.
Okay. I had no idea. That's so awesome.
So now
I got no shit. Now I gotta watch the movie. Shit.
You can just push past her on set.
Yeah,
Remember?
No, but I'm definitely I'll be on the look. I had no idea. That's so cool.
Yeah.
And just so you know as well, Haunt was like one of like I don't know. I enjoyed it quite a bit. It was more like for that year. That was like one of the better films for me. So thanks, man. Yeah, I enjoyed it a lot.
Thank you. It was a fucking privilege to be a part of it, man.
Oh yeah,
it
was really cool, and it was kind of like at the beginning of like when things really started. I mean, I know like what is it? Shudder had always been attached to a lot of like really cool stuff, but it was just like it kind of almost like it was like a ongoing thing after that. It was like after that it was pretty consistent. Like Haunt was great. And it was just like all right, now everything they're putting out is just like killing it. It's crazy.
There's a bunch of great stuff on Shudder, man. It really is.
Yeah. Yep. A lot of foreign stuff.
I love that station. I love that station.
Come on, Mitch. I don't know. I don't know what that's regarding, but so So do you have any bucket list people that you've worked with? I
haven't worked with any people that I would like call heroes, but I did a bit in a movie called Dark Waters opposite Mark Ruffalo and Anne Hathaway. And previously I had been turned down for this part in an Anthony Mackie movie. So here I was like hoping I could work with the Falcon, right? Didn't get that, but then this came up and it was Todd Haynes, a wonderful director. Like he was the real Jim there was the director, but this bad. And I said, hey, the Hulk, yeah, I'll take the Hulk if I can't have the Falcon, right? But no, he was not. I wouldn't have called him a hero because what's a hero? But he's a guy I really respected, and I was actually really afraid of Anne Hathaway because I already knew how good she was, but I was afraid that she would just be mean as shit to me for some reason. I don't know why I was worried about it. She wasn't. She was absolutely wonderful, and is even prettier in person than on screen. It's bizarre, right? I'm like, oh no, my goodness, you're like Cleopatra. My goodness, like you are just gorgeous. But so nice. She thought I was. She asked if I was from New York, and I said, and keep in mind, I'm an hour away from my city when we filmed this. I said, nope, I'm about 45 minutes down the highway there. Dayton, Ohio. And I said something to him like, they've got a real drug problem. And I'm like, why did I tell you that? Why did I say that? Why would I say that? Like my first thing was talking about how Dayton is famous for heroin. I'm like, oh my God. But I didn't expect her to talk to me or ask about stuff. So, she giggled and was sweet about it because I literally asked, I was like, I don't know why I told you that. I don't know why I said that.
To this day, she's like, don't go to Dayton. Don't go to Dayton.
Yeah, well, no, good. Yeah, avoid it. There's a lot of good shit here, but no, between Ruffalo and Ed, that's about as close as I got to, it's no Pacino. Pacino is what you'd call, a hero.
There's a lot of people that I've got to meet through the con circuit and everything that, and even through the show that have just affected me. Like, I don't know if I would necessarily call them a hero, but they're people that made an effect on my life. Some people like where like it makes me think about things still to this day. And it's like, all right, if you did that in this movie and this, I have to make sure I don't do that because everyone knows you don't do what you see in the movies. But, and at the same time too, like even talking to some of these people, I just assume half the time that they're going to be like, I'm just annoying them and I'm just going to do my thing and just walk away, and most of the time they're awesome, but I don't know. I just get very nervous around talented people. So, and also another thing too, people are a lot shorter than they look in the movies. So I don't know. I meet people like, wow, much taller. Yeah. This is crazy.
I hate to keep bringing this up, but you wouldn't believe how short Al Pacino is.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know he's a short man. He's a little guy. But damn it, if you don't act like he's 7'5", God, the presence of this cat, and he's so small. That's the gift of acting.
Have you ever heard of the expression? I heard this recently. I don't know if this is true, but apparently there's something called actor size. Has anybody heard this?
Yeah.
Like, oh, really? Okay. So you know what I'm talking about. So I'm just for everyone watching, I am actor size. So there you go. Which I think is like 5'8" or something. Based on what I've heard.
I'll
take it.
I totally thought you were saying actor size, like as an exercise, but with actor in it. I don't know what that would be. I was like, I'm out of the loop. But so yeah, that's interesting.
I was told I was janitor sized.
There's nothing wrong with that.
What's that mean?
Just to interject though, just to say of people you want to work with, of all the cons you went to and everything like that, I'm telling you right now, I would die if I ever got to work with Olivia Hussey. From Black Christmas. Have we talked about that before?
I don't know.
Oh, one of these days. Oh, trust me.
Oh, he loves Olivia. He loves Miss Hussey.
Damien loves Olivia too.
Well, that was what I was about to say.
Oh, yeah. Well, Damien loves every thread of Black Christmas. There's nothing about it he doesn't love.
That's like my top 3. But yeah, Olivia, I'll do anything. If I ever
if you're watching,
I love her.
I mean,
P.S.
just get her in the movie. That's all I'm saying. Maybe have her be like a special thing if you guys raise enough money. And
She was a wonderful Juliet too in Zeffirelli's Romeo and Juliet. She was fantastic.
Oh yeah,
Oh, she's great. Yeah.
Mark my word,
Very good.
it will happen someday.
Yeah, Maffei has a great Olivia Hussey story about an interaction that I won't tell for him, but it's if you ever get him on here again, ask him his Olivia Hussey story.
Write that down, Tony, because I'll forget.
Very good story.
Every once in a while, he'll pop up in the chat room if he knows people on the show. Sometimes he pop in, but nope.
Chaney is just never. Chaney is never unentertaining. I swear, it's just like you never know what's coming.
Sorry.
And I just wanted to add also to Jeff, who's in the chat right now, and Lucas are also in the film.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
And they'll be featured soon on different things that we're doing. We just haven't announced it yet. I felt bad there in the chat room. We didn't sing.
That's okay. We can come on another time.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah. Anyways, so we're about 10 minutes away. So I definitely want to start wrapping up. I want people to know where they can go to find you guys and what you guys are up to. So let's start with LC. Where can people go to check out what's going on in the world of LC Holt?
Well, you can always go to Facebook or Instagram. They are actually me. Probably the thing I get most about Facebook is this really you? It is me. And that's also where you can catch up with WATCHDOG stuff, because I'm always posting WATCHDOG. You can find the WATCHDOG Facebook group there. And also the Time's Up Facebook group if you want updates on that film, which is also upcoming. So, yeah. And I got a lot of cool stuff coming out. Phantom Fun World, which I did with Wes and Celeste. Another movie I did called Party Bus that I'm really excited about, coming out soon. Quite a few. One called Go Away, another one called Butcher's Bluff. I'm about to shoot one with Dan involved called Macabre Mountain. So some really cool stuff.
I think we have Xander coming on for that next week. Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Xander Goldman. Yeah.
Perfect.
So, but WATCHDOG's the next big one, and we're about to dive into that and make as great a movie as we can make.
Awesome. Cool. Daniel, where can people follow you? I know, like you're a horror historian out there, so that's literally your handle.
I'm an 80s horror, so yeah, definitely. You can follow me, DJK_horror historian on Instagram. My Facebook, you can find me there too, but it's kind of more of my family time platform. But you can find me there. And just to piggyback on what Elsie said, we have so much amazing stuff coming out. Please check out Wolf Hollow. Please check out Late Checkout. Please check out Macabre Mountain, WATCHDOG, and Time's Up and Dark Circle. So many awesome things that'll be coming out definitely in the next 12 months. And thank you for everything. It's been great.
Is there any kind of update on Dark Circles as far as like a release date?
So yeah, so Dark Circles, I can't say too much, but I can tell you right now, it's so incredible. It's so damn good. It's so really, really, really good.
Go for the gold, Danny.
Yeah, it looks so beautiful, and so they're going through editing right now and everything like that. So we're hoping very super early 2023. But man, let me tell you, it's gonna make a splash.
Nice, good. That's definitely one that I am definitely hardcore looking forward to. Yeah, so Chaney, where can people go to follow your stuff? And
I'm on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. There's Terror Trips, LC and I, that movie that just dropped. I think there's a comedy called Movers Ultimate that comes out July 19th, I believe. And there's, in this past couple months, I did a few. There's we got the Mutilator 2, which is on the way. Late Checkout that LC and Dan and I worked on. Mothman that Dan and I both worked on. And then another film called Sacred Grounds. Not sure when any of those will be out, but they're underway.
So. They'll be stuck in my mind, so that way when I see them, I'm
so
like,
there's
hey.
that. Yeah.
Cool. Awesome. Celeste, where can people follow you?
You guys can find me on Facebook. Most of the time I'm on Instagram, Celeste Blandon, nothing fancy. And then I'm also on YouTube and upcoming projects, obviously WATCHDOG, Phantom Fun World, the House Among the Trees short film will be coming out soon, and that's going to be the proof of concept that Wes is in as well. And that's one of my first ventures. Me and my boyfriend have our own production company. We worked with a few other production companies to create this short to fund a feature. And I just wrapped a film called Mr. Buzzkill. So that'll be coming out hopefully later this year. And I'm working on a music project right now with Frank Dormani, who's our composer for this film and Phantom.
Nice. We just had the director on for
Sean Burkett.
Yeah, we just had Sean.
Oh, yeah. Awesome.
He's a good dude.
Yeah, I love him.
He's another guy that just puts out fun stuff, you know?
Yeah, consistently.
Yeah, definitely. So Wes, where can people go to follow you?
I guess I probably use Instagram more than anything. It's Wes.Robinson for that. And like Celeste said, we did the House Among the Trees and WATCHDOG, obviously. And Phantom Fun World actually has a Finishing Fun campaign that is still happening for a few more days. So if anybody wants to check that out and get a perk while they can or become part of the project, that would be awesome. Yeah.
By the way, I just want to throw out there that if you guys do choose to purchase a Blu-ray or a DVD during this finishing campaigns, you get to see the film before everyone who's watching it on streaming gets to.
Oh, nice.
Which could potentially be months before it ends up on streaming. So if you want to see it first, then you definitely want to buy it ahead of time.
Tony's gonna
buy it. Beauty of physical.
I was gonna say buy it like right away. So yeah, and I'm just curious. You said you're doing a music project. What do you like? What is it going to be?
So I am a musician. It's been a hot minute since I've been back at it, but I just wrote a song like last week, and then I hit up the composer for Phantom, and I believe he's composing WATCHDOG as well.
Yep.
Yep. And I just really liked his cinematic style. I've got a very indie sound, so I wanted something cinematic for the background. I really want to make some music videos and stuff too. So I hit him up, and I really like where he's going with the project.
It's awesome.
So,
cool.
Yeah.
I support anything music as well. I'm a long, like, that's my first love is music. So I'm just too old to play in clubs anymore. That's all. Yeah,
well, I'll have to send it your way before I release it. See what you think.
Yeah, well, I mean, I like a lot of. I'm all over the place. All the music at the beginning is me, but it's at the beginning of the show. But it's also I like everything down from like I like old Bjork and whatever up to like I like death metal. So I mean, I like everything in between.
Yeah.
So whatever. So Tony, where can people go to follow you?
You can find me at Tony Has Nine Fingers on YouTube, where I do movie reviews, unboxings, anything movie related, anything physical related. Tony Has Nine Fingers on Twitter, which I hardly ever use. Tony Has Nine Fingers on TikTok, which I do not twerk at all. I do more movie stuff. You can check out. I just went to Classic Rewind Con. We were talking about, I never worked with anybody, but people that brought me up, like the movies I watched with Little Giants and Mighty Ducks. I met a whole bunch of people from that. So I grew up with that. So you can find that there. You can find me at Tony's Movies on Instagram, where I show off the collection behind me. Here on the Wicked Horror Show every Tuesday night, well, most Tuesday nights, whether we have awesome guests like this or it's just me and Kev talking about horror movies. And check out the Wicked Horror Show Instagram so you can check out who's been on, who's coming on, so on and so forth. And yeah, Kevin.
Just A-Knuckle on Instagram. Besides this show and doing reviews with Wolfie, I'm also part of Black and White Fright and Violence Buffet, which are both newer projects. Well, one of them's a newer project, but it's fun. You can find more of the Wicked Horror Show stuff on the Dorkening Podcast Network. Just go to thedorkening.com for more information on all the shows on the network. And also, I'm going to be at the Sci-Fi Horror Fest in, was it Vernon, New York in August. We have a booth, so come by, say hi. We're going to be doing a raffle, giving away some stuff. It'll be fun. So thanks for watching / listening, and have a good night. Bye.
Thanks.